So we're going? Let me introduce everybody in the room. Andy Stokes.
How you doing?
Duffy Bishop.
Hello.
Patrick Lamb.
Woo. Duffy
Rebecca
Bishop.
Webb.
Duffy Bishop.
In another life, I will
Martinez.
be Duffy Bishop.
They're performing with the Oregon Symphony this weekend. Thank you for stopping by our KINK Green Room. Brought to you by Lazy Boy.
This is pretty comfortable.
This is.
Yeah.
We are so happy to have you here. This is such a treat for us.
In fact, feel free to take this furniture with you when you leave. As a party gift.
This will be great in the studio.
No, this is awesome. We were just talking a little bit about the history of you guys in this market and the dues you guys have paid. Talk a little bit, Patrick, about the development of this project on top of what you were doing before.
Well, this was just something that kind of we were inspired to do. It kind of brought everybody together. There's so much talent here in the Northwest, and we just, we wanted to play together, and this is a reason we could dream up to do it.
So when you first got together to do the tribute, though, were you thinking that it would turn into anything regular?
No.
You thought it was a one-time
We
thing?
thought we were going to put it together for the Blues Festival, and then that would be it. And we were happy with that. And then it won the best performance for 2005, and then so we started getting calls for other things, and then we recorded a CD, and then people really liked the CD, and then we thought, why don't we see if we could do it with the symphony? Because that's kind of the natural progression, it seemed like.
Brainstorm. Yeah. I love that idea. I just never imagined that you would do that together with him. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So what is it about Ray Charles' music that inspires you all?
Well, I grew up, my dad had all of his music. And
where did you grow up in?
I'm from Danville, Virginia. I came out here, football scholarship.
Cool.
And so been here ever since. And but my household when I was growing up, it was all the blues singers, all from B.B. King to Ray Charles, and it seemed like every time I came in the house, Ray Charles was on the radio, and so I just used to get in my room and just take the little 45, put it on the hi-fi, get me a broom and stand in front of it like it's on mic, stand in front of the hi-fi and sing. But it's influenced me. I came from a background of my goal was to play pro football. Music was never in my thing, so it kind of, now that I'm in it and getting to play with all these great musicians.
And singing Ray Charles again.
And it's a dream come true for me.
Duffy, how about you?
Well, one thing that inspired me about Ray Charles is that he could do anything. He wasn't stuck in any one thing. He'd be singing a great blues song or a great, R&B song, and then he'd do a country tune, and then he put the strings in, right. And he was always larger than life and had a voice that just makes you chill up the minute you hear it. I mean, he's an inspiration to all of us, and I think that's probably why this has lived beyond the one-time performance, because people are so drawn to him.
Eddie Martinez, how about you?
Oh gosh, I just feel that Ray just transcended boundaries. Early on, he was pushing the envelope. He was doing things that were considered, he was really pushing the envelope. And you think about Mess Around, and then putting strings and straight ahead country tunes and everything. And I remember early on in my career hanging out with Steve Marriott, the great singer from Humble Pie, and he pulled out some cassettes, and Ray Charles was there. It's incredible the impact that this man had, not only here nationally but internationally. I mean, they're really into the music. Especially for somebody who wasn't perceived as being overtly political. He had a different way of getting that done.
Well, I think he just followed his heart. That's the thing about Ray. He was one of the first people to tell his record label that he wanted to own the masters, and accomplished that. And he was really forward in a lot of ways, and he was one of the first people to decide he wanted to do, strings in the way he did it, and he did it all around the world.
So you're just a young white kid growing up in Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm just a young white kid from Mississippi, from rural Mississippi, and I lived in Jackson, Mississippi, and Mendenhall, a bunch of little tiny towns in Mississippi, and my earliest memories in music are going to these little juke joints with my dad in the back of his Datsun 210. He played the Fender Rhodes. Oh. So if you can imagine a Datsun 210, it's about as big as this couch, There's a Fender Rhodes in the back, and then there was me. And that's how I started listening to Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. And part of this whole thing we're doing together is about celebrating our own. You know, it's the whole hero inside, celebrating your own community, because we've got so many talented people here. We say local artistry, but there's so many people here that tour internationally. You know, George Mitchell is part of the show. He tours with Diana Ross. Eddie's toured like the Stones and all kind. You know, Robert Palmer. Andy's been like with Pleasure and all kinds of different people. Duffy is just, I mean, Duffy.
What more can you say about that?
What can you say?
Yeah, she's like 1,000 women in one.
Yeah. So absolutely, you know. So part of it's about celebrating our local talent, and we're going to have a party at the Snits. I mean, basically, and it's also going to prove that if you invest in your own and you celebrate your own, but of course you have to take time to make something that's entertaining and fun. We're going to put people in the seats. It's probably 75% sold out as we
wonderful.
speak.
Wow,
so it's going to be awesome.
Well, look what it's done. Look, Ray Charles has passed for several years now, and he's brought all of you together. So not only does he bring musicians together, but he brings an audience together to appreciate his music through you.
Well, that's the power of music. I think everybody hopes that, you know, after they go on in the next world, that their music is going to keep doing positive things. So there you go.
Yeah. And it's true. Definitely happening for Ray Charles.
It's kind of like intrinsically American. You know what I mean? In the best sense of the word. It's just incredible that people gravitate towards this music, and it's not a coincidence that Sinatra called him genius. You know, that's what he called him, the genius.
Right.
You know?
His music helps people to be open-minded about, you know, music. You know, some people listen to this, I only listen to this, I only listen to that. But when you hear his music and the different styles that he does, you listen. Exactly. Unconsciously, you listen. And you love it.
And even though a lot of the lyrics are so fun, I actually listen to him quite often, and some of the dated references, you know, he does paint a picture of another time, and when he refers to the cars and the women and those things, but yet there are some human nature aspects that are very relevant today.
Life.
Well, good music is indicative of its time, you know, whether it's jazz or rock and roll. So, and you know,
two kinds, good and bad.
That's true.
Healing energy, you know.
Healing energy. Yeah, this is just fun. You know, for us, it's, you know, like I said in the other room, it's the only way I could get all these people to play with me.
I agree. It's a great cast with the Organ Symphony. It doesn't get much better than that.
That first show that we did at the Blues Fest a couple of years, was it 2.5 years ago, Patrick?
Yeah, 2005.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, 2005.
But there was something, that first show was incredible. There was incredible turnout. I mean, how many people were there? It was
like 100,000 people.
It was amazing. And
I
it's
think
something
so.
that, you know, it's something.
Let's exaggerate.
The sum transcended the parts. Something happened there,
I
and
agree.
you know, and it's followed through. So we're pleased.
Little did you know back then that 2.5 years later you'd be back at the Schnitz with the symphony performing all these Ray Charles songs.
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know what? One of the hopes is that, because I never thought this was possible. Now I think anything's possible, and so part of the other part of this project is inspiring others. You know, so hopefully there will be a lot of spin-off projects, and if we get to take this national, which I hope, I think it has legs now because it's gonna have a good turnout at the Snits. That was kind of the, you know, one thing we were waiting to see, is if it has legs, then hopefully other people will get inspired, you know, and you'll get other projects that come out of Portland, because Portland's got so much to offer. It's just a matter of time before something happens here, and it's going to be on the map.
I agree, and I want to tell you how much we appreciate all the work that you've done. Andy Stokes, Duffy Bishop, Patrick Lamb, Eddie Martinez. It's great you've stayed true to this community and true to the kind of music we love to hear. Thank you guys.
We love your hearts,
For having us.
and we love your hearts.
No, we appreciate you guys.
It's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. It's fun, and bringing all this talent together, that's magic. That's
Yeah.